Hi. How's it going, Ivan? So how do I find domain and range? So I like to use certain colors so that kids kind of understand what I'm talking about. So I'm going to try my best. Um, these colors that I like to use in my class. So I always use red for the axis. So I'm going to color this red. Okay. Now the reason why I like to use color is because this way I don't get confused. Okay. Red kind of helps me keep everything organized, right? So when I'm dealing with anything that's on this x-axis, that means I'm going to be dealing with the domain. So the domain is your x, okay? So what I want to do is I want to figure out the lowest x and then the highest x. So I'm going to kind of draw a line right here. So my lowest x right here would be -3, and my highest x is 4. Okay, so I separate them with the comma. Now here's the thing. This plays a big role. Okay. So whenever it's not shaded in, you're going to use parentheses. Whenever it is shaded in, if it was like a solid dot like this, you would use what we call brackets. Okay. Hopefully we'll be able to do another problem that would have that. Okay. Now for my y, I like to use blue. Now my blue will be my y-axis. Okay. Um, okay. So I have my y-axis right here. And so now I want to find my lowest y. So now I start at this point and I'm going to go to y. At this point, I'm point to my lowest y in this case would be, looks like -1. My highest y looks like it's going to be 4. Separate them with a little comma. Now, since they are not shaded in, again, I'm going to put my parentheses. Okay, and that's how you find your domain and range. Okay, your range will always be your y values. Your domain will always be your x values. Now, if we wanted to do the next problem, it's very similar. Okay, so then my x, I'm going to put in red, and my x would be my domain. Okay, so I want to find the smallest x. Sorry about that noise. Smallest x. So in this case, right here, okay, and that would be -3. Then I want to go to the largest x, and it kind of seems like it stops right here, so that's also 3. Now notice, this part is not shaded in. This one number is not shaded in. So that -3 would be open. However, this is a solid line. So if you think of the solid line is kind of like if it's shaded in. So then that one include. So whenever it's a solid line, shaded in, like the dot is shaded in, you'll use the little brackets. Okay. Now, what about our range? Our range is very similar, right? So we're going to now look at the y values. So now we're looking at the up and down right here, this y-axis. All right. So again, I get my lowest y. So I'm drawing a line this way. -2. And then I get my largest y, which in this case looks like it's +3. Again, I separate them with the comma. And notice these are actually the endpoints of this graph. And so they're open, so they're both going to be open. This is an open dot, and this is an open dot. Now, this one kind of looks like it's shaded right onto, So that's kind of hard to tell. Like some kids might think, well, it's a straight line and it looks like it's on two. I think that's just kind of like a printer error. So we're just gonna play the safe bet, and because this is open, we're gonna say that the negative two is open. That's very very hard to tell right there because of that. Okay. Um, that helped answer your questions about domain and range. I like to do this. So every time I see the x-axis, I color it in red. Anytime I see the y axis, I color it in blue, and I still do that. This is my algebra two, my college algebra, my college pre-calc class. I make all my students do this. It helps them remember, especially stuff like this, domain and range. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any more comments, questions, or concerns.